What would you recommend to a screenwriter who doesn't have an agent, manager, or producer to guide them?
So yeah, I guess presuming that they're sort of up and coming, I think getting an agent or a manager, not both, when you're starting off is a good avenue, because you really need an advocate. I mean, a lot of writers are not necessarily good at pitching themselves, and even if you are, there's something that just comes off pretentious and arrogant about talking about how great your own work is. I mean, that's a good. You do the writing, let them do the talking, you know. And so I do think a good agent or manager, I just don't think your career is big enough. Even big writers don't often need both. But just an advocate to go out and push for you is I think is always worthwhile. So assuming you don't know anybody, I think a good way to try to get to an agent and manager, there's a few good ways. Number one is, networking, obviously, but not necessarily directly with agents and managers. A lot of times you can, as you get to know more people in this industry, whether it's producers, DPs, actors, whoever, you start meeting other people who are represented. And a good way to get in with agents and managers, even better than just meeting them at the party and saying, hey, look, I'm a writer, can you take a look at my stuff, is knowing someone who already knows them is oftentimes a better way to do it. So instead of going out and trying to meet an agent or a manager, look at your own resource base and other people you know. And it's like, my friend's repped by innovative artists. Maybe, hey, I'll take you out to dinner. If you can just can you get me, get my script over there and get somebody to look at it, or get me a meeting, I'll take you out for a nice dinner or whatever. But leverage your own contacts, because this is a relationship business. So even more than being able to just go up to an agent and say, I know you don't know me, but I'd really like to take a look at my stuff. They usually don't. But if it comes from someone they already know and trust, that's a good way to get. So look at and that's what I've advised. I have a friend of mine, director, who he's a visual effects guy. His name's Lloyd Barnett. He's an amazing visual effects guy. He was the lead compositor on Avatar, and he directed a movie I produced called Ninja Apocalypse. He also did a lot of the visual effects in that movie, and he wants to direct. He wants to do more directing. So I helped him put together a director reel, and he was asking me, God, how should I get to these agents? I'm like, been in this business a long time. You have to know people that have agents. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, think about other VFX artists you've worked with. Think about other below the line that you've worked with. Composers. You have a friend, he does music. He might be repped by this agent. He's repped by Gersh. Talk to him. Great. See if he can get you get your reel looked at. So that's one way. I think another way too is talent rises to the top. I do believe that. I do believe that talent will eventually be rewarded, real talent. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people have overestimate their own abilities a lot. I think, you being recognized as talented, it's got to be someone else other than yourself just saying it. Other people need to recognize the talent. That's what sort of, I think that's what I would say actually elevates you to the point of when you have other people in the industry who have some modicum of success saying, I think this guy's talented. I think that's when it's legitimate. It's great that you believe in yourself. Having confidence is fantastic. I think the whole self-esteem movement has done more to harm young kids than help them. Self-esteem is something where you believe that you are owed something, that you should feel good just because you're unique and you're this and you're that, as opposed to having accomplished something. And I feel like as opposed to confidence is a different thing, believing you can go out and get it, as opposed to self-esteem, believing that you're great and you're owed something just because you're unique. I don't buy that. But I believe that you should be confident, in your abilities to a degree. Not overconfident, but be confident in yourself that either that you have some modicum of talent, or that you can develop the talent you have into a skill. And I think that some people that are good to judge that is some of the screenplay competitions, some of the better ones, and I had written a whole article on this at fundsforwriters.com. I wrote a whole article on the pros and cons of screenplay competitions, but some of the top ones, like the Sundance Screenwriters Lab, like the Nichols, Austin, Blue Cat, Tracking Bee, Final Draft's Big Break. There's a few that, and I think they've elevated themselves because they've been around for a long time and they use a lot of working industry professionals to read the scripts and grade them. So you have people that are in the industry that are in the know. They're not just hiring interns or kids like, hey, read this and do coverage on it, but it's they have experienced readers. And when you have enough of those competitions saying, yeah, I think this guy has got something, or this script is something else. It's a fresh voice, what have you. I think there's some legitimacy to, okay, this person really does have some talent, because you have some experienced third parties who have an eye for talent. This is what we do as producers, as directors, right? We identify talent, and I think if you can excel in some of those competitions, you're going to get, the opportunities to interface with agents and managers. If you can at least hit in a big competition, the quarterfinal level, you can get. I think you can get agents and managers to read your script. If you can get to the semifinal, they'll probably be calling you. And if you can get to the finals level, you're going to get meetings. If you're a finalist in Nichols, you will be able to get meetings with William Morris and CAA, because that's such a limited pool of people compared to the number that apply. Literally thousands and thousands of people apply, and it gets down to literally a small handful of people. So I think that's another way to get to, to get to agents and managers. So play out your own resource base and see who that's already repped, and see if you can get in that way. And also competitions. I think that's two ways to get access to agents and managers.